Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Sammy Gyamfi brutally attacks hypocrite Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. Now, who is Sammy Gyamfi? Samuel Gyamfi. He was born on the 28th of March in 1989. So that gives him 36 years. And he was born in Sunyani, in the then Bono Ahafo region. Sammy Gyamfi is a brilliant lawyer. When he speaks, my brother, you get to love knowledge. When he speaks, you get to love communication. He has communication skills. He went to the St. James Seminary. And then right after that, he went to the Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He ended up going to law school. And now he can be considered as one of the learned people in this country. They call each other learned friends. I cannot call him a learned friend. I can only say my colleague who is learned or my friend who is learned. My brother, my sister, this is Sammy Gyamfi. In 2025, when President John Dramani Mahama won power to become president of the nation again, unprecedentedly, everybody knew Sammy Gyamfi was going to grab a position. But not many thought that he will be put at the helms of affairs of the most important metal in the country, gold. He trusted Sammy Gyamfi well enough to be able to man the fortunes of our gold in this country. And many people applauded. I was one of those who did. I like to see young men and women come run with the wheels of the nation well greased. And I thought that Sammy Gyamfi was somebody who will do that. And so far, so good. Many people are applauding. Everyone says, oh, this young man is doing so well. The currency has stabilized. Many more things are happening. Then he felt that he should trumpet his own achievements. And bam, he hit it hard on social media. What did he say? Breaking news. Yesterday, the Ghana Gold Board surpassed its 2025 small-scale gold export target of 100 tons, generating over 10 billion American dollars in foreign exchange for the country. Unprecedented. What? You know what that means? That means we've been able to make 10 billion American dollars. 10 billion American dollars. Remember, we went to the IMF begging for only 3 billion in the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. My brother, my sister, and of course, the fugitive, Ken Oforiatta. 3 billion. And they were playing hanky-panky with us. Humpty Dumpty with us. My brother, my sister, the economy crashed like Humpty Dumpty. It sank like the Titanic. Oh gosh. Sammy Gyamfi is telling us that he made 3 times that and even more for the 2025 exports. Oh gosh. We have to applaud that, don't we? It stabilized the city. People have had a very good Christmas. They are waiting for the new year. And everyone is talking about how the economy is in economic buoyancy. My brother, my sister. But Cadman Mills, a brother of John Evans Atta Mills, a former president of this nation, who won the accolade meritoriously, Asumdwehine, he was one of those Ghanaians loved. He died whilst in the presidency. Now, Cadman Mills came out with a sharp rebuttal. And what did he say? Quickly. Cadman Atta Mills says, and unprecedented devastation of our water bodies and environment. Now, the clamor over small-scale mining may have died down somewhat in recognition of government's good faith attempts to deal with galamsey. Of course, he says, but still one thing. However, our deep anxieties remain So please stop reminding us of the lurking threats to our very survival. Stop touting the unprecedented achievements of the gold board. They ring very hollow. Remember, we had an occasion to deal with this. My brother, my sister, of course, is the truth. If we are getting the gold, how are we getting it? What is the means to the end? If we are polluting water bodies, Galamsey is still rife. Politicians are involved in it. Many people are thinking about shoot to kill so that Galamsey can stop. My brother, my sister, what are we talking about? Making 10 billion when the forests are still devastated. Well, I placed a call to Sammy Gyamfi and he told me, Black Rasta, you know what? I am not interested in Galamsey gold. Mahama is not interested in Galamsey gold. I will never buy Galamsey gold and will never, ever encourage Galamsey gold. I thought he was making a lot of sense. Come here! My brother, my sister, Sammy Gyamfi spoke. Now, as if the IMF was listening, bam, a couple of days later, IMF decided to fire back. And what did IMF say? Bloomberg, what did Bloomberg say? What did the West say? The West said that 214 million American dollars were lost right there from the coffers of the Bank of Ghana. How did that happen? Now the Bank of Ghana has lost 214 million American dollars because of the dealings of the gold board. So if Sammy Gyamfi is talking about his achievements, the achievements of the gold board, he must also remember that so much money, 214 million American dollars, went down the drain. What are we talking about? Sammy Gyamfi came with a quick rebuttal. But before that rebuttal, another man many people have seen to be very vociferous from the other side of politics, the NPP, is Oppong. My colleague had Joy FM and of course multimedia. This is the man. He used to be the information minister, and in his days he tried as much as possible to communicate for his party. Many people did not see him as honest, especially that he went for vetting for his post in parliament, and many people like Manasseh Azure felt that he told a bag of lies to protect himself and his selfish interest. This is Oppong Nkrumah. He's also an MP, and of course he represents his party when it comes to the economic business and blah 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 of the economy. This is Oppong Nkrumah. Now Oppong Nkrumah has been talking about Sammy Gyamfi, and he's calling for an investigation of Sammy Gyamfi, the 36-year-old Sunyani boy, the lawyer with very hot brains. What did Oppong Nkrumah say that has annoyed this 36-year-old lawyer, Sammy Gyamfi? Watch this.
In all contracts, licenses, intermediaries, including this Bauer Rock monopoly that this morning we have informed you about. Under this bipartisan inquiry, we will be expecting the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board to publish the fee structure, the pricing formula, the aggregator selecting criteria, and all foreign exchange arrangements that they have tied to this scheme, which has led to this loss. There are also environmental issues that have to be dealt with. And one of the things we'll be asking for is a suspension of permits in forest reserves and the introduction of serious measures on traceability. Because as at now, we have every reason to believe that state money is being used to buy Galamsey gold. Also, we are expecting the governor of the central bank and the chief executive of the gold board to appear before the committee as other persons who will be invited, and to provide all the information that is required for the Republic to understand in detail what has happened and to put measures in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And where negligence or corruption is proven, prosecutions must follow, and all recoverable funds must be clawed back to the state.
All recoverable funds must be clawed back to the state. Grammar. All recoverable funds must be clawed back. You understand that? The claws of an animal. Clawed back into the coffers of the state. This is the fluent speaking Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. He served as a minister of state, information minister in the erstwhile Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. Now this was what Oppong Nkrumah said, and it annoyed Sammy Gyamfi to the maximum. Sammy Gyamfi came back hot on the heels, and this time round he had no mercy. He threw away all caution, and with the ferociousness of a wounded lion, he jumped right into the face of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and it looks like he has left him totally bloodied, and the scene is ghastly. See what he put out on social media. Hey, this is Sammy Gyamfi, and he said, folks, I have already served notice. I will effect till Monday, 5th January 2026, be responding and clarifying issues surrounding the IMF's reported loss of 214 million American dollars under the Gold for Reserves program of the Bank of Ghana, implemented in conjunction with the PMMC, now Gold Board. But before that, I hear the Minority Caucus has today addressed a presser making several uninformed and unfounded claims. So I thought it prudent to give you a teaser to nibble on as you enjoy the Yuletide. Below are the losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana from artisanal small-scale gold purchases under its Gold for Reserves and Gold for Oil programs since inception. Audited losses from artisanal small-scale gold purchases under the Domestic Gold Purchase Program 2023. That was under the NPP. Audited losses. And then he is talking about huge figures. 1.8 billion. He's talking about 970 plus million dollars. Ghana cedis, I beg your pardon. And total losses of about 2.15 billion Ghana cedis. Only in 2023. Now in 2024, just before they lost power, see what happened. Hey, audited losses, 667 million Ghana cedis and over. That's the gold component. And then 4.18 billion Ghana cedis total losses. 4.84 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. And now 2025. Which hasn't even ended properly. G40, that's G4, whatever, this continued. Now, G4R, my brother, my sister, approximately 2.3 billion Ghana cedis. These are the losses. That's $214 million. Oh, yes, $214 million from January to September, according to the IMF. And this figure is unaudited. Now the MPP led by Kojo Oppong Nkrumah puts the 2025 total losses at 4.84 billion. Right? That's what he's saying. That's the 2025 losses. And then he comes down to say that the NPP led by Kojo Oppong Nkrumah puts the 2025 Gold for Reserves and audited losses for 2025 at $300 million, which is equivalent to approximately 3.3 billion Ghana cedis. 3.3 billion Ghana cedis. Now here is the interesting paradox. The MPP under whom the BOG made cumulative losses, that's 2023 and 2024, of 7 billion Ghana cedis under the G4O and G4R program. is calling for a probe into how the Bank of Ghana and Gold Board have reduced their losses to 3.3 billion. Laugh out loud. So from 7 billion, the losses have been halved. Much like that. What is even more revealing is that when the BOG under the NPP in the years 2023 and 2024 made a total G4O and G4R losses of 2.15 billion Ghana and 4.84 billion respectively, the Ghana cedi cumulatively appreciated against the US dollar by 27.8% in 2023 and depreciated, I beg your pardon, depreciated against the dollar by 27.8% and in 2023 and 19.2% in 2024. While inflation for 2023 and 2024 stood at 22.3% and 23.8% respectively. Today in 2025, the MPP is complaining about the fact that the BOG working in conjunction with the Gold Board has reduced their recurring G4R and G4O losses to 3.3 billion Ghana cedis according to the NPP, and yet inflation has declined for 11 consecutive months from 3.8% to 6.3%. 35% against the US dollar, the first time the cedi is appreciating since the year 2007. What a joke. Well, they say they want a probe. We welcome that probe. Stay tuned for more. From 5th January 2026, Jandam can never win. This is Sammy Gyamfi. He calls the minority caucus in parliament hypocritical. If during your tenure you made losses to the tune of over 7 billion, we have come. Within the first year, the losses have been halved. According to the IMF, not even audited yet. And looking at the other side, the cedi has appreciated. And it is directly applicable to the fact that we have gold reserves and even more. Can I tell you more? Again, inflation has gone down from almost 24% in the days of the NPP to only about 7% now as it stands. And it's all because of our gold reserves and the strength of our currency. If you won't applaud us for all these things, and we are looking at the fact that we have halved the losses within 1 year, you wanted us to be able to cancel all the losses and move into profitability. Well, Sammy Gyamfi says he has news for the NPP. He's ready for the probe, and Jandam will never win. Come here. Now the Gold Board, what is the act of parliament that even put it into play? My brother, my sister, there are many people who don't want to read anything constitution. They are tired. They only want to see the economy work. So I'm not going to bore you with articles and blah, 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 blah. Now the Gold Board, as we are told, is not an entity that is a profit-making one. What is the work of the Gold Board? Now the Gold Board does two very important things. Number one, to be able to buy gold for the Bank of Ghana for its reserves. That's one. What does the Bank of Ghana do with the gold? Now when you have gold reserves, everyone knows around the world that it helps with the strength of your currency. It is a strong backing for your currency. What does the Bank of Ghana do with the gold? Number two, it exports the gold for foreign exchange. So when the Bank of Ghana needs gold, all it does is to speak with Gold Board. You know, we need gold for our reserves. One. Or we need gold to export. Oh gosh. And Gold Board says, okay. That they go on the field and then they speak to their licensed sellers. Licensed sellers. and then pick up the gold, buy from them, and give out to the Bank of Ghana. Now, when the gold is bought with the Bank of Ghana money, Gold Board serves now as an agent. So the Bank of Ghana now pays Gold Board for its services. Gold Board does not buy gold to keep. Gold Board does not buy gold to export. No, all exports, all the reserves are kept with the Bank of Ghana. My brother, my sister, so with all these things coming in, there is a very interesting twist to this whole thing. Now, Gold Board now walks up to the Bank of Ghana and says, well, we've done a lot of services for you. Are saying, carrying the gold all the way to you, linking you up with the best prices for the gold and all that. And remember, gold prices are not dictated by Gold Board, not even by Ghana. It is done there in London. My brother, my sister, now the Bank of Ghana pays Gold Board for its services. And Gold Board goes to sit down and say, thank God, all the gold that the Bank of Ghana needs, we have supplied that. That's how come. Sammy Gyamfi said, we have done it unprecedentedly. When you go to Gold Board right now, you won't find gold. If you find any gold, then it's because Gold Board wants to make some jewelry. And you know that when PMMC was there, they were making jewelry. They also made some, what's that thing called? Medals and all that. See? Some of them for sale and some of them for commemorative reasons. This is the work of the Gold Board. The Gold Board is not a galamsey group. It's not supposed to be a galamsey group going to buy galamsey gold. It's not supposed to encourage galamsey. What it is supposed to do is to discourage galamsey, yet be able to get quality enough gold for the Bank of Ghana. Gold Board is not supposed to keep gold unless it's going to be used for medals, jewelry, and so on and so forth. And that is just a little amount of gold as compared to what the Bank of Ghana gets. Now, Oppong Nkrumah has said something very important, and I think that we need to look at it. Come here. What has Oppong Nkrumah said? He said there must be traceability injected into the work of the Gold Board. In other words, we should be able to trace the gold. Where is this gold from? Is it from Wuntumis Nimri forest destruction? We should be able to see that. In some countries of the world, there are some diamonds called blood diamonds. There are some countries in Africa that have been red marked, never to have diamonds from those countries sold on the international market because of child labor, war, and some other such things. We need to be able to trace the gold that we buy for the Bank of Ghana, by the Gold Board. We have to be able to trace that. To which forest? Where was this mined? It is possible with modern technology. That's what Oppong Nkrumah is saying. As for the investigation, as for the probe, Sammy Gyamfi says is a joke of a century. If you cannot applaud us, do not spoil us. Men say ye din. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, and here we speak truth to power.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.